Be Me, 27. Diversity and Equity Specialist at Marketing Agency in Portland. Got the job about a year and a half ago. Company wanted to look more progressive. Have a sociology degree. Worked at a women's rights advocacy group for 4 years before this. Made around $35,000. This gig pays $72,000. Thought I would change corporate culture from within. My problem is Derek, senior account manager. Been at the firm for like 6 years. One of those quiet professional types who keeps to himself. For months now, he has been shutting me out, leaving me off client calls, giving me one-word answers in emails, challenging my proposals in team meetings. The last straw happened 3 weeks ago. I launched a required inclusion workshop series. Spent 4 weeks developing it. Fine, I copied most of the materials from another agency, but I customized some slides. During our weekly team meeting, Derek spoke up. Why are we prioritizing this when we are behind on 3 major campaigns, and the attendance rate is only 15%? Everyone got quiet. Felt my face go red. Because inclusion matters, Derek. Some of us want to make this agency a better place. I am just questioning the timing and why it is required if most people are not engaging. That dismissive attitude, that subtle way of saying my work is pointless. I have dealt with this my entire professional life. Men belittling work they refuse to value. I submitted an HR report that same day. Toxic workplace. Sustained pattern of exclusionary conduct. Condescension. Had multiple examples ready. The time he explained client relations to me when I did not ask. The calls he did not include me in. His curt tone in written communication. HR actually listened. Rebecca, the HR manager, opened a formal review. Finally, someone was paying attention. The sit-down meeting was on a Wednesday. Me, Derek, Rebecca, and my supervisor, Linda. I walked in, feeling justified. Derek brought a binder. He opened it slowly. Systematic. Like he was presenting a case study. These are email threads proving Sarah was included in every major client strategy session for the last 8 months. He passed printed pages across the table. She declined 78% of them. Most marked not applicable to my position. My chest tightened. This is feedback data from the inclusion workshop. 15% completion. Comments indicate the material felt copied and not tailored to our industry. Multiple people pointed out the slides still had the other agency name on slide 9. I had missed that. These are Sarah's work outputs over 8 months. 2 blog posts. 1 team lunch that 4 people came to. 3 workshop modules with the completion numbers already mentioned. Rebecca was writing notes, no longer looking at me with understanding. And these, he pulled out printed messages, are from a private messaging group Sarah created. Someone sent these to me anonymously. My private group, where I vented with other women at the agency. The words were right there. Derek is literally a poster child for mediocre white dudes coasting on privilege. Mark questioned my workshop goals like I owe explanations to some 30-year-old account bro. These guys are so pathetically insecure. Cannot stand a woman with authority. Sarah. Rebecca's tone was measured. Can you explain this? My throat was dry. Those were private messages, taken completely out of context. I was talking to friends. This feels like payback for reporting him. Rebecca stopped writing, looked at Derek, then me. Sarah, these are direct statements about your co-workers. In what context is calling someone an account bro acceptable? It was a private channel. A private channel you made on company infrastructure? Linda said softly. First time she had spoken since sitting down. With other company employees. My face was burning. I did not mean. They were not supposed to. Rebecca said, "Did you refuse to include Sarah in meetings?" No, I invited her to every client discussion that related to her diversity metrics work. I included her in strategic planning that touched her department. She indicated they were not relevant. Rebecca looked at me. Is that true? I tried to think back. I had skipped a lot of meetings. They always conflicted with things I was doing. I think some of them. The calendar records show most were scheduled during your normal work hours with no scheduling conflicts, Derek said. Still calm, still factual. I had nothing. No excuse that would work. Karen was staring at me differently, like seeing me clearly for the first time. Or maybe seeing what had always been obvious. Rebecca closed her notebook. We will finish our review. But I heard the finality in her voice. The conclusion was already drawn. 8 days later, I was put on a 60-day improvement plan. Derek got a formal letter from HR exonerating him. My supervisor asked me to make an apology. Linda started copying HR on all her emails to me. I went home and told Marcus, my boyfriend of 3 years. He works in consulting. Usually supportive, but recently kind of withdrawn. They are protecting him, I said. It is a boys' network. Marcus was quiet for a while. Did you really decline all those meetings? They were not relevant. Sarah, he had documentation. I did not want to hear it. Not from him, too. 3 weeks after the meeting, the office atmosphere changed. Male co-workers kept interactions minimal. Work subjects only. Always had a witness present. Literally, nobody would meet with me alone. Andrew propped the conference room door open with his laptop bag when I came in to ask something, like he needed an exit strategy. The team used to ask me to lunch. I usually declined. Too busy or had plans. But they asked. Now, silence. I mentioned it to Jess, another woman in creative. Have you noticed the men acting strange? She looked uneasy. They are probably stressed about the rebrand deadline. At Friday drinks, the account team was relaxed and joking at a back table. I got a beer and walked over. Conversation died like someone cut the power. Hey, Sarah, Kevin said. Overly polite, overly cautious. What are you guys talking about? Just work things, sprint planning. The vibe was dead. I finished my drink and left early. Walking past the bar, I heard voices. Recognized them. Andrew and Kevin trying to be discreet. Just do not be alone with her dude. Did you see what she tried to do to Derek? I know I keep my door open if she is even on my floor. I stopped, turned around. Excuse me. They went white. We were not. We were just. Andrew stuttered. You are scared of me. Are you serious? No, we just. Kevin looked like he wanted to vanish. I did not let them finish. Walked past them into the parking garage. Sat in my car for 15 minutes, hands shaking. Through the window, I could see them back at the bar. Andrew running his hands through his hair. Kevin talking fast. Clearly panicking about what I might do next. Good. They should worry. But driving home, I passed some people from the office going to dinner. Recognized women from the creative team. Laughing easily with guys from accounts. Normal, relaxed. Nobody looked tense. Why was I the only one they treated like a hazard? I pushed the thought down. I knew why. Because I stood up. Because I called out toxic behavior. Because I refused to be silent. At home, Marcus was on the couch with his tablet. I unloaded everything. The cold treatment, the distance Andrew and Kevin's conversation. They are terrified of women now, I said. This is what institutional sexism looks like. Marcus closed his tablet. Sarah, have you considered their side? What side? They are scared of baseless accusations. You tried to get Derek terminated. It was not baseless. He had emails. You had feelings. His voice was flat, exhausted. They are protecting themselves. You are supposed to support me. I am supposed to be honest with you. We did not speak the rest of the night. I lay in bed thinking about James, my ex, from 4 years back. I told everyone he was controlling. Really, he asked me to contribute equally to rent, even though I made less. And Tyler before him. I said he was emotionally unavailable. He asked me to stop complaining about work for one evening because his sister was in the hospital. The thought arrived before I could block it. Am I changing the narrative? I shoved it away. Had to. Saturday evening dinner with friends at this trendy place downtown. Supposed to celebrate Amanda's new job. Me, Marcus, Brian, my friends since sophomore year, Amanda, Eric, Olivia, and Kate. Drinks were flowing. I was on edge, but trying to seem fine. Conversation drifted. Someone asked about work. I could not stop myself. Went into the hostile atmosphere at my agency. How men were punishing me for speaking truth. How fragile they were. Olivia nodded along. Kate looked uncomfortable. The guys were silent. Too silent. It is like they think we are all waiting to report them, I said. Like we are the threat. It is paranoid. Brian put his glass down hard. The sound made everyone turn. Sarah, stop. The table went dead quiet. What? You filed a report against someone who had proof you were wrong. That is not. He was dismissive. He had emails, Sarah, showing he invited you to meetings, showing your performance was weak. Everyone knows about it. My face burned. You are talking about me. Everyone is, because you are the walking example of why men are terrified at work now. Eric jumped in. My firm just prohibited one-on-one mentorship between senior men and junior women. Completely banned it. You know why? I did not. Respond. Because 8 months ago, a woman, Michelle, seemed really nice, said a senior manager made her uncomfortable in a private meeting. That was it. Uncomfortable. They looked into it, found nothing. But HR decided they could not risk the optics. Eric's voice hardened. Marcus, black man, been there 11 years. 3 kids got reassigned. No advancement. Reputation ruined. He moved to a different office 2 states away just to escape it. Michelle is still there. Got promoted 2 months ago. Total silence. Ethan spoke. I got lunch with a female colleague last month. Just lunch. Her project. Afterward, she sent a summary email to both our managers and HR. Subject line record of meeting with Ethan per protocol. There is no protocol. She created a paper trail like I am dangerous. I do not help women at work anymore, Ethan went on. Everything in writing. Door stays open. My fiancé asked why I am suddenly so formal at the office. How do I tell her being helpful is now a liability? Brian cut back in. You want to know why men do not take you seriously, Sarah? Because you can destroy someone's career with one claim, true or false, and you know it. You tried with Derek. I did not try to. When it failed, you made yourself the victim. I was. You were not. Derek had proof. You had feelings. The words sat there. This is not one thing Brian said. Every time someone challenges you, it is sexism. Every time you face accountability, you blame men. He looked at Marcus. Have you ever asked Marcus about his day without centering yourself? Marcus stared at his plate. Marcus, tell them that is not true, I said. Marcus said nothing. You demand respect, but do not hold yourself to any standard, Brian continued. Derek invited you to meetings. You skipped them, then accused him of exclusion. The meetings were not relevant. You never checked what they were about. My throat closed. You are all attacking me. We are telling you what is real, Chris said quietly. Someone has to. Brian's eyes locked on mine. Sarah, we care about you. We have been friends since undergrad. But you have become exactly what men are afraid of. Because I am a woman. Because you use it as a weapon. The guys were nodding. Not mean, just tired. Even Olivia was not looking at me anymore. So you are all sexist now. My voice cracked. Brian's face softened, but his voice stayed firm. We are your friends being real with you. You can call it sexism if that is easier. But that is the whole problem. You would rather be right than see what you are doing. What am I doing? I am pointing out real issues. You are ruining people. Brian's voice broke. My uncle will not be alone with female employees anymore. Daughter always open. Another staff member in parent conferences. His coworker got accused 4 years ago of inappropriate remarks. They reviewed it. Found nothing. He paused. Did not matter. Parents demanded he be transferred. He changed districts. Has anxiety attacks before meetings now? Even if he was innocent, it did not matter. My uncle used to love his job. Now he is planning early retirement because one wrong moment, one misread comment, and he is finished. Silence. That is what you do, Brian said softly. I would never. You tried to get Derek fired for having opinions you disliked. Marcus finally looked up. Eyes red. You told me 2 months ago I was gaslighting you. Because I said you were not hearing me. I was asking you to let me complete one thought. My breath caught. That is not. I have recordings. Because I record everything now. Do you understand how messed up that is? That I document my own relationship. You are treating me like I am a monster. You are acting like you cannot hurt anyone, Brian said. That is worse. The table felt suffocating. I stood, grabbed my bag. Screw all of you. Nobody tried to stop me. I walked out into the cool air. 20 minutes to my place. Cried the entire way. Tried texting Olivia. Did you hear what they said? 3 dots appeared, then vanished. No reply. I wanted to text Brian, we are done, but I could not. Because somewhere under the anger, a small voice whispered, what if he is right? I silenced it. Sunday morning, no messages from anyone. I drafted a long defense. Deleted it. Wrote another. Deleted that, too. Marcus came by around 1. I thought he would apologize for not defending me. We need to talk. He looked drained. Deep, exhausted. I have been recording our fights for 7 months, saving texts, documenting conversations. You know I do. I always say I want to remember this clearly. My stomach dropped. Why? Because I saw what you did to Derek. And I realized, if we end badly, you could say I hurt, you manipulated you. And who would they believe? I would never. You said James manipulated you. I met James. He is a regular person who disagreed with you. You said your manager retaliated. She managed your work. Sarah, you rewrite everything to make yourself the victim every single time. You are supposed to be on my side. I was. For 3 years I have walked on eggshells, apologized for things I did not do wrong, because arguing was draining. I cannot anymore. His voice cracked. Not mad. Just finished. Are you ending this? I think we need distance. He grabbed his charger from the bedroom, his spare jacket, the book from the coffee table. The door closed softly. I sat on the floor and cried, but through the tears memories kept flooding back, uninvited, unwelcome. The time I accused him of not caring about my goals because he dozed off while I was venting about Derek. He had worked a 16-hour shift. I never asked. The time I said he was invalidating my experience when he suggested my reaction to a coworker's joke might be excessive. I called it gaslighting. He apologized for 4 days. Last month, when I yelled at him for 30 minutes about forgetting to pick up my dry cleaning, he said, "Sorry, work was hectic, and I forgot." I told him that was emotional negligence. He just agreed. Exhausted. So exhausted. How many times had he tried to share something about his day only for me to interrupt with my stuff? How many times had he stopped himself, carefully rephrased, walked on those eggshells? I thought it meant he was supportive, being a good partner. He saw it as survival. The understanding made me nauseous. That evening I drove to my parents' house. My dad works in school administration. Told him everything. Work the dinner, Marcus. Expected sympathy. "Did you really do what they are saying?" Dad asked. I filed a valid complaint. "Did you have proof?" Silence. He sighed. 2 years ago, one of our teachers. Solid guy. 18 years, no problems. Got reported by a student for making her uncomfortable. We looked into it. Nothing there. But parents heard whispers. He moved schools. His partner says he will not shut his classroom door now. Will not meet with female students alone. That is different. Is it? You could not support your complaint. Now men are being careful. That is not discrimination, sweetheart. That is consequence. Mom spoke quietly. "Sarah, in college, you said that guy at the party assaulted you. But when we pressed for details, you said he asked 3 times if you wanted to go. You said yes, every time." The memory surfaced. I had forgotten, or I had reshaped it over the years into something darker. I went home, opened my laptop, found the screenshots Derek had presented, the messages, read my own words. Derek is the poster child for mediocre white dudes coasting on privilege. These men are so pathetically insecure. I saw it now. The venom. How I talked about colleagues like they were obstacles, not humans. My manager scheduled a final review for Thursday. I knew what that meant. A month went by. Eventually, I got the call. I was let go. Improvement period concluded. Generous exit package. Company wanted to avoid legal issues. Sat in a cafe after. Laptop open. Pretending to job search. Across the room, Derek. He was with a young woman, early 20s. Intern, maybe, explaining something on his screen, patient and calm. But I noticed details. His laptop angled toward the window. Door wedged open with his bag, her phone on the table. Recording light visible. I understood. This is what I made. Men helping women carefully. Witnesses, documentation, public settings. Derek gets to continue cautiously. I am unemployed. The unfairness settled in my chest. Real unfairness this time. I was wrong, yes. But he gets to move forward. I went home, opened my browser. Wrongful dismissal attorney. Retaliation claims started. Typing an email. I was terminated after filing a legitimate complaint about workplace harassment. I believe this was retaliatory. My fingers hovered. Thought about Brian's words, Marcus's fatigue, my dad's story, those screenshots. I thought they were correct. I am the issue. Then, but I am not going down quietly. I hit send. The attorney called 4 days later. Tech-adjacent company, female employee, recent HR action. We might have something. 4 weeks later. Lying in bed at 3 in the morning. I know exactly why men do not take women seriously anymore. I have witnessed it, caused it, but I cannot acknowledge it. Not publicly. Not even to myself. Because acknowledging it means accepting I destroyed everything. So I do what I always do. Open my laptop. Start typing. Men will do anything to dodge responsibility. Just lost my position for calling out discrimination. This is what women deal with daily in corporate America. I stop. Stare at the screen. Delete it. Write it again. My cursor hovers over publish. Think about Derek's careful screen angle, Marcus's recordings, Brian's face at that dinner, Andrew and Kevin whispering, "Just do not be alone with her." Think about the alternative. Admitting fault. Rebuilding. Actually changing. The cursor blinks. I delete it. Not because I will not post it. Because I need to be smarter. Open a new file. Start listing names. Derek, Linda, Rebecca, Andrew, Kevin. The lawyer said we might have a case. Wrongful termination, retaliation, hostile environment. I just need the right framing, the right narrative. Derek's evidence showed I skipped meetings. But did anyone ask why? Maybe I felt unsafe. Maybe the bro culture made me avoid those environments. Marcus's recordings show our arguments. But what about the emotional burden that caused them? The constant small aggressions I endured. I know exactly what I am doing. I have known since that dinner, since my dad's story, since those screenshots. I know why men do not take women like me seriously anymore. Because we can. Because the system shields us. Because one word, one accusation, one strategic complaint can finish them. And they should be scared. I open my phone. Text the lawyer. Ready to proceed. Let us discuss approach. He replies immediately. Tuesday, 10 o'clock. Bring all documentation. I smile. They think I learned something. I did. Just not what they hoped.